Hi everyone, my name is Anupama Sharma. I'm a product manager in the Security Service Edge team here at Microsoft. With me today, I have Mamta Kumar.
Hello, I am Mamta Kumar, a product manager on the same team.
Here is the agenda for today as we deep dive into Microsoft Entra Internet Access. With a rising number of internet resources and remote users to protect against cybersecurity threats, everyone in enterprise security team is losing sleep. Traditional network security approaches just don't scale to modern demands of a cloud-first, mobile-first world. Even if you solve for modernized access, you're still dealing with siloed solutions and end up managing your policies across multiple tools spanning identity and network controls, exposing integration gaps that are exploited by skilled attackers. The new Microsoft Entra Internet Access model will modernize and transform the way you secure access and offer peace of mind that security practitioners need and deserve. Additionally, it will make your end users happy by making their connectivity fast and seamless, making it a win-win for both security and productivity. Microsoft Entra Internet Access is part of Microsoft's SSE solution that is deeply integrated with identity controls. With a unified identity-centric SSE solution that includes secure web gateway, cloud access security broker, and threat detection services, you can now centralize all your access controls into a singular policy engine that is Entra ID Conditional Access. As a result, you can now seamlessly extend identity, location, and device controls of conditional access to your entire network security stack, securing all data traffic to any internet destination. Very soon, we are also bringing continuous access evaluation to Microsoft Entra Internet Access. This will enable your network policies to adapt dynamically to changing conditions, such as user risk scores, device compliance statuses, onboarding offboarding users, etc. It's an easier, more agile, more integrated approach to secure internet access for your enterprise built on zero trust principles. Let's talk about what makes our approach unique. First, we introduce network traffic as a new resource type in conditional access alongside cloud apps, providing a way to unify and centralize your network security policies with identity access policies and strengthen them with continuous access evaluation. Secondly, our globally distributed proxy, powered by Microsoft's vast wide area network and its many points of presence, routes internet traffic to the POP closest to the end user, giving them great hybrid work experience that is fast and consistent. Our third unique pillar is the differentiated security and visibility provisions for one of the most widely used apps, Microsoft 365. It is important to note that these additional Microsoft 365 capabilities are included in your existing Microsoft 365 E3 or E5 subscription. These Microsoft 365 capabilities can also be deployed side by side with third-party SSE solutions or traditional DMZ networks. Microsoft Entra Internet Access provides two flexible deployment options: device client model and branch network model. Our Internet Access and Private Access products share the same client that can be installed on your end user device. Our Windows client is now in public preview, and support for other OSs will be rolled out incrementally over the next year. In the future, no additional agent will be required for Windows 11 onwards. We are also unifying the client for Internet Access and Microsoft Defender client to reduce your deployment overheads. Additionally, we will support IPsec tunnel-based connectivity from branch office routers to offer coverage for any on-prem devices that may not have the client installed on them. An important capability of Microsoft Entra Internet Access is the flexibility around what traffic to acquire, leveraging its traffic profile construct. Microsoft 365 traffic profile is pre-populated with relevant IP ranges and FQDNs and enables admins to easily direct Microsoft 365 traffic to Microsoft's SSE solution. This out-of-box provision is particularly helpful in side-by-side model if you want to continue running rest of your traffic as is and only leverage our Microsoft 365 security stack as part of your existing E3, E5 licenses. There's just so much that you can do with Microsoft Security Service Edge solution. Let us review some key capabilities. Microsoft's SSE solution has deep identity integrations that are now released in public preview, such as universal conditional access to any internet destination, data exfiltration controls for cross-tenant access scenarios, compliant network validation check for token theft protection, and source IP restoration for backward compatibility with your existing security policies and risk detections. In private preview, you can see contextual sophistication of conditional access policies extended seamlessly to your secure web gateway policies like URL FQDN filtering and web category filtering. Full 5-tuple cloud firewall, TLS session inspection ability, and additional network threat protection controls are in advanced development and will be added incrementally on the road to general availability. Universal Continuous Access Evaluation Enforcement is also coming soon for all Internet endpoints. Advanced anti-malware and network DLP features are also queued up in our roadmap.
Let's go over to you, Mamta, to see some of these security capabilities in action.
Thank you, Anupma. Now let's dive into Microsoft's SSE solution. We have built deep integrations between Internet Access and Microsoft Entra Identity. All the richness of conditional access, such as user identity, device context, network location, etc., are available with Microsoft Entra Internet Access. You can enforce conditions such as requiring your end users to have a compliant device, perform MFA, have a low or no user sign in risk, etc., before they can even connect to the zero trust network. Using continuous access evaluation or CAE, you can instantly revoke access when conditions change. With our token theft protection, you can prevent malicious access to your resources by using the compliant network check. Source IP is used with conditional access policies and plays a crucial role in sign-in logs, entity protection and risk detection, and more. If you leverage IP-based location, typical SSE solutions break the functioning of this control. We proactively restore source IP. And finally, universal tenant restrictions enables you to prevent data exfiltration by users leveraging foreign identities to access foreign tenants for all Microsoft Entra identity integrated resources across all OS and browser platforms. Let's dive into the conditional access controls for connectivity to our Microsoft Entra Internet Access solution. We have Global Secure Access as a resource pre-integrated within the fabric of conditional access controls. You now have the flexibility to configure CA policies on any or all access to network connectivity by default or to explicitly select the specific traffic profile. Your users can access these resource destinations only after they acquire a valid token for our Internet Access service. We provide zero trust coverage also for those resources that do not yet support basic auth and conditional access natively. You can enforce advanced constructs like continuous access evaluation. Further, you can use the user and context awareness such as device, location, etc. with network filtering policies. In the Microsoft Entra portal, in conditional access policies, under target resources, our network access solution is shown in the drop-down as Global Secure Access. We can configure conditional access policies to support various conditions, such as for high-risk users or users on a non-compliant device, we can block their access to the Security Service Edge network. Let's look at this conditional access policy where access to the Security Service Edge network for the Microsoft 365 and Internet traffic profile requires the user devices to be compliant. Meet Adam. Adam works at Contoso Limited on a highly confidential design project. He uses apps such as Adobe Creative Cloud, Microsoft SharePoint, Teams, and email to collaborate with his team. Recently, Adam fell for a phishing attack with malware ending up on his device. For his regular work, he tries to access Adobe Creative Cloud. When he tries to connect to the Microsoft Entra Internet Access using his global secure access client, he is blocked. Let's look at our SWIG capabilities. You can now apply specific user, device, and location context to apply to network filtering rules and policies. For example, you may want only your PR department to be able to access social media sites and block all other users. Meet Sky. She works in the PR department at Contoso. Meet Taylor. He works in design and he is not part of the PR department. Let's configure the SWIG policy. In the Microsoft Entra portal, we configure web filtering for social media sites such as LinkedIn, Twitter, and the social networking sites category. Next, we create a policy profile to block social media sites. Then, we create a conditional access policy with global secure access as the target resource with internet traffic for all users except the PR department. Under session controls, we use the social media web filtering profile. Now let's look at what happens when Sky from the PR department and Taylor from the design department try to access Twitter. Sky is able to seamlessly access Twitter. However, for Taylor in design, he is blocked. Similarly, you can configure web filtering policies for blocking web categories such as gambling sites, then create a policy profile and associate them to conditional access session controls. Here, we've also set one up for unsanctioned storage sites, including the web category for personal storage and file repository, megaupload.com, and zippyshare.com, and further associate it with a policy profile with action block. Then tie it all together with a conditional access policy. Our solution introduces the new compliant network check, ensuring that the user connects from a verified network connectivity model for the specific enterprise tenant and is compliant with all the network security policies that you've enforced. The compliant network check is similar yet more powerful than source IP and is much easier to manage and maintain without going through the cumbersome process of compiling a list of all your enterprise source IPs. In the Microsoft Entra portal, under Global Settings, Session Management, the Adaptive Access setting is used to enable network access signaling to Microsoft Entra ID. Turning on the network access signaling creates a conditional access named location called All Compliant Network Locations. In conditional access named locations, we can see this named location. We can now use it in conditional access policies. We have a conditional access policy where access to all cloud apps, including SharePoint, requires me to be on the compliant network. I have my global secure access client turned on. I will try to access SharePoint. I can. Now, switching over to my personal home machine, I will try to access the same SharePoint site. With my personal home machine, since this device is not on the compliant network, I am blocked. Our existing solutions, such as conditional access and continuous access evaluation, rely on source IP information. We restore source IP for both the auth plane and the data plane, providing backward compatibility for IP location checks. We do proactive restoration in conditional access and continuous access evaluation in Microsoft Entra ID sign-in logs and in entity protection risk calculation for user risk and sign-in risk. We can check Microsoft Entra ID sign-in logs, and this shows the Security Service Edge IP. In the Microsoft Entra portal, our source IP restoration feature is available in the global settings. When we turn on the network access signaling, the source IP restoration feature is turned on. After a few minutes, looking at Microsoft Entra ID sign-in logs, we can now see the original source IP, which in my case is the 50.IP address. Tenant Restrictions v2 provides granular controls for tenant, user, group, MSA identity, application level, and anonymous access. Using Microsoft Entra Internet Access based TRV2 tagging, you get coverage for all traffic, agnostic of browser or OS stack used on the device. You no longer need to manage your local core proxies. And we are back to Taylor. He is a vendor and works on a project with the design department at Contoso. His actual employer is Graphic Design Institute. Contoso gave Taylor a local Contoso identity and a Contoso machine to use during his project. In the Microsoft Entra portal, in global settings, session management, the tenant restriction setting is used to enable universal tenant restrictions enforcement. On our Contoso tenant for the tenant Graphic Design Institute, we've set the config to block access. Let's look at the auth plane enforcement. When Taylor saves all his work at the Contoso SharePoint site, everything works just as expected. However, one day, Taylor decides to save copies of his Contoso designs at Graphic Design Institute SharePoint site. When he tries to use his Graphic Design Institute's identity to get to the Graphic Design Institute SharePoint site, he is blocked. Taylor knows that Graphic Design Institute has an open drop folder on their SharePoint site. He tries to access this anonymous folder. Again, he gets blocked. Not giving up so easily, he thinks of megaupload.com to upload the design files to, so he can access them later from another machine. Meanwhile, remember Bob? He set up the conditional access policy with the web filtering policy profile to block unsanctioned sites. And once again, Taylor is blocked. To recap, we've shown our exciting security controls that we are introducing with Microsoft Entra Internet Access, handing off to Anupma to discuss our visibility and performance capabilities.
Thank you so much, Mamta, for showing us those interesting security capabilities.
With Microsoft Entra Internet Access, we are also introducing rich logging and reporting capabilities. Our data sources include metadata from the Global Secure Access client, network traffic logs and policy enforcement logs flowing from our Secure Service Edge, activity logs from Microsoft 365 applications, as well as watch lists from various threat intelligence systems. We process and analyze this data to create insightful in-product reports and dashboards. We will show detailed demos of our network traffic logging and enriched Microsoft 365 activity logging features that are now in public preview. Our landing dashboard page provides rich insights such as relationship maps between users, devices, and destinations connected through Microsoft's SSE solution. We also show cross-tenant access undergoing in your enterprise, as well as top network destinations in use. In the near future, we will bring various policy recommendations and insights to you. We will also offer advanced app and network discovery capabilities, as well as what-if scenario modeling. Apart from native reporting, we support extensive capabilities to export the data to various data sinks integrated with Azure Monitor. We are also building connectors and workbooks for integration into relevant first-party and third-party SIEM and threat detection systems. Let's dive deeper into our traffic log monitoring capability, which is now in public preview. In our traffic logs page, you can visualize every request and response transaction happening through Microsoft's SSE solution. In these logs, you can also view valuable information collected from the device, like device ID, operating system name, operating system version, etc. You can also see relevant packet information like source IP and port, destination IP and port, as well as FQDN. We also show additional information such as network protocols, transport protocol, and policies that were enforced. You can go ahead and customize this view to your specific needs. If you wish to apply filters on these logs, go ahead and select one of the fields up here and filter on the details you would like to see. Selecting any of these logs will show you all the details coming from that specific transaction. These logs are fully integrated with Azure Log Analytics as well as with Microsoft Sentinel from the get-go. So you can start running queries on top of these logs and create custom insights depending upon your need. For commonly referenced queries, you can add these in a workbook and display it as part of a dashboard. In this custom dashboard, you can see the volume of traffic that was flowing every hour. You can see how much data was sent and received, as well as top destinations, along with details like count of transactions, data sent and received, total events, etc. Let us now look at another important differentiating feature for Microsoft 365. Customers are using Microsoft 365 audit logs for monitoring, detection, investigation, and analytics. Realizing the importance of deep visibility into this top productivity application, we partnered with Microsoft 365 to bring you real-time visibility into the security-sensitive activity directly from workloads like SharePoint, Exchange, and Teams without the need to break and inspect Office traffic. Our platform collects metadata from devices, network, identity stack, and threat intelligence systems to directly extend and enrich the M365 audit log schema with additional context that helps security teams to detect, investigate, and hunt for anomalies with stronger correlation and higher confidence. The enriched audit logs with the new metadata can be integrated with market-leading SIEM systems. With the new enrichment, security analysts get complete perspective to curate detections with overall reduced latency and near real-time SLA guarantees. Let's look at how to activate this feature. Under the Settings menu, the administrator goes to the logging page and selects SharePoint workload. SharePoint enriched logs are now in public preview, and support for Exchange and Teams logs is coming soon. After clicking on Apply Changes, the administrator presses the Configure Diagnostic Settings button to select the location to which the enriched audit logs will be exported. In the Diagnostic Settings page, the administrator configures the destination details. In this particular example, the logs are defined to be exported to Event Hub. Now let's look at the enriched data. Here, we can see events that were enriched, like deleting a file or uploading a file. And we can see the details, such as file name and user ID. We can also see the user's token identifier. We see that the client IP field emitted by Microsoft 365 workload in the log is set as the SSE Edge IP. This obfuscation creates challenges with risk and threat detection. However, Internet Access has the ability to restore the original IP address of the user device in the extended log schema, as it appears here in this particular field added by Internet Access. Other examples of enrichments made by Internet Access include metadata like device ID, device operating system version, etc. As we dwell on the many security and visibility capabilities of Microsoft Entra Internet Access, let's not forget to mention the performance and availability benefits of Microsoft's SSE solution. Microsoft's hyperscaler cloud infrastructure runs across dozens of data centers and hundreds of edge locations to ensure your users are always milliseconds away from the nearest secure edge location, which is your new DMZ. This vast WAN infrastructure of miles and miles of subsea cables is owned and operated by Microsoft for exclusive use of services like Microsoft Entra Internet Access. We also have tens of thousands of peering relationships with internet providers and SaaS services, ensuring that your enterprise gets best of security with the best of performance. At public preview, we are launching in multiple locations across North America and Europe, and we will continue to bring up our service in other regions on our road to general availability. Do note that all our features for Microsoft 365 are rendered in co-location with the existing front doors for these services. This avoids break and inspect or additional routing hop latency for the top productivity apps in your enterprise and makes Microsoft the preferred SSE provider for our customers. In addition to performance, we are carefully architecting multiple provisions to recover from a slim yet non-zero chance of hardware and software failures. A key provision here is the use of multiple redundant tunnels, enabling recovery from failures or capacity spikes seamless. Advanced traffic management algorithms and safe deployment procedures ensure that Microsoft Entra Internet Access is a highly available, truly resilient infrastructure service that your enterprise can depend upon. Soon, it will be possible for you to track Microsoft Entra Internet Access performance and resiliency scores through the Microsoft 365 Network Connectivity and Productivity portal. As we wrap up today's session, let's recap various Microsoft Entra Internet Access differentiators and capabilities. While bulk of our security and visibility capabilities are equally applicable to all Internet apps, we do have special provisions for Microsoft 365, like out-of-box traffic profile, data path protection against anonymous access and token infiltration attacks, network check enforcement to protect against token thefts, as well as enriched Microsoft 365 logs for better and faster threat detections. You can benefit from this value for Microsoft 365 by deploying Internet Access side by side with any third-party SSE provider or traditional DMZ network without any additional license fee. These provisions are included in your existing Microsoft 365 E3 or E5 licenses. Furthermore, these features do not require break and inspect of your traffic, making this offering best in class for performance and resiliency of Microsoft 365 services. In addition to identity and Microsoft 365 integration capabilities, we hope that you tried network filtering capabilities, which are now in limited private preview. We will continue to release new security capabilities like threat detection and continuous access evaluation in the coming months. We are committed to providing a turnkey SSE solution built on strong zero trust principles. Microsoft's SSE solution not only protects your internet resources, but also reduces operational complexity and enhances end-user productivity. We would like to invite you all to join our ongoing public and private previews and share your feedback to help us refine our solution and make it even better. We look forward to answering your questions and receiving your feedback.